show, I like to highlight the fact that, of course, was the general public, people, chums and friends who watch this channel on a regular basis. I like to inform you what goes on behind the scenes, simply because you don't get this story on the mainstream media. We saw, didn't we, recently how, of course, Rachel Reeves decided to renege on every single thing that she claimed she wasn't going to do in, of course, the forthcoming, bid to become the favourite party to govern the country, as it were. But, of course, then she discovered a black hole, which was obviously yet another lie. But they don't call her out on that, simply because they don't want to be made to look fools. That is the mainstream media. Don't forget, of course, Kay Burley and the likes of Sky News whooped with delight when Labour got into power. That tells you everything about exactly that particular channel.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you can see from his face in just a second, you can see how Andy has reacted.
Brilliant.
And Labour...
But what's fascinating is, with Channel 4 recently being back in the headlines, let me explain this about exactly how cosy they are with the current government. As ever, let me explain. Morning, good to see you. Thank you so much for your time today. Lovely to see you, whatever you're doing, and do take care of yourselves. It is interesting to find these sort of stories out because, as you know, I work in television, and it's fascinating how things are commissioned. And the commission thing, I don't mean this, big-headedly, but if you don't know how it works, it's basically you take an idea, you sit with normally about 4 or 5 boring people, and they decide whether you will have the privilege of enjoying it. When you test it out online and you realise actually the public do like it, but they don't want that because then that puts them out for a job, you understand. But when you look at Channel 4, they've recently attacked the previous government, the Conservative Party, numerous times with Partygate, Boris documentaries, you name it. But you would have thought this would have been a delightful time to expose, after just 115 days in power, this current government headed by Sir Keir Starmer, Angela Rayner and Rachel Reeves. After all, it was one scandal after another, right? The free clothes, the flights, the accommodation, it just went on and on. And as I pointed out the other day, Rachel Reeves now racks up £6,000 a month, all thanks to her own places being rented out. So you would have thought this will be a perfect prime time, detailed investigation for somebody like Dispatches. Well, a colleague of mine and 2 other production companies went to Channel 4 with this particular idea and basically said, we think this is a great story. We've got lots of people on record willing to speak about Lord Ali, Sir Keir Starmer, and of course the skullduggery going on behind the scenes at 10 Downing Street. Their initial reaction was, it's a little bit too early, but we might look at it later. When, of course, the revelations kept coming and all the negative PR, and now more so the fact that so many people have been hidden away for the terrible atrocities, the murders that happened up in Southport in Merseyside, they felt, well, we'll go back. No, it was a firm 100% no. Channel 4 will not be doing any expose on the current British Labour Party or indeed the current British Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer. Why, you might ask? Well, it's quite simple, really. You see, basically they're going to need government money very soon, your money, to survive. And this is exactly the leverage that they had. Now, Channel 4, about 2-3 years ago, was facing the axe under that particular current government, headed by Nadine Dorries. Now, a lot of people were hopeful that this may be the way and they'd have to be privately funded, and let's see how successful they will be then. But sadly, the head of Channel 4, along with all the other commissioners, including the current head of content, I believe his title is, and former Newsnight editor, Ian Katz, they don't want to know anything about what's going on behind the very famous black door of number 10 Downing Street. As I said, ask yourself why, and more importantly, why has nobody else in the current British media decided so quickly to do an expose? Where is ITV's Paul Brand? Yes. Where are the news agents? No, because they've decided they're going to support this particular rhetoric, this disaster that's currently going on over here, affecting everybody's life in the United Kingdom, because they pushed heavily for it. You understand how this works now? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.